All right. Uh, Welcome everyone to the pilot episode of the Fusion Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Bacon, and joining me today is President of Fusion from 3 years ago, Sydney Dantes-Canoy. Please introduce
Hello.
yourself.
Hi, I'm Sydney. Like Kevin said, I was the president, I believe, 2017, 2018.
That sounds
Yes.
about right.
And then the year before that, I was the external vice president for the organization.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I joined Fusion after you were president.
Yes.
So I don't know you that well, but
It's
hopefully
okay.
this podcast will get me to know you way better than before.
Mhm.
So, yeah. So, you know, in Fusion, we like to do some icebreaker questions just to, break the ice. So, question I have for today is, what's your go-to boba order? UCI and boba. It's like hand in hand.
I have a very specific drink. If anyone knows me very well, they know it on the top of their head. So mine would be the winter melon milk tea from Ding Tea, but with less ice and the agar boba. I think it's the best drink ever. And every time I go to Irvine, I try to get it at least once because where I live right now, the closest Ding Tea is like an hour or so away. So,
Oh,
and there's not a lot of good boba places around here either. So it's really hard to find quality boba where I live right now.
I could totally relate. The closest place to me, I think it's boba time, but
Oh,
it's okay. It's okay.
it's good. Like if you need it, then you're gonna go to it.
Yeah, if you're craving it, it'll do the job, but like it's not like the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, let's get into some of these questions. So I saw that you switched majors during your time at UCI. Me as well. I switched from mathematics to film during my second year, I believe. So I was wondering if you have any advice for switching majors, like maybe like some context to which why you did switch.
For me, I entered UCI undeclared and I had the plan of always switching into biomedical engineering. I looked it up before entering college. I thought that this is great. It does engineering, it does science, everything that I thought I wanted to do as a career.
Mhm.
But once I went into UCI and I started exploring other majors, and then I unfortunately took physics, I figured out that I don't think engineering is for me. I don't think I can do way more classes of physics. And I found out that my other interest, economics, was really where I wanted to pursue professionally. And I can see myself having a job there and creating a stable career for myself. So I decided to go down that path. And instead of just focusing on economics itself, I also wanted to focus on the business aspect. So I found out that there was a business economics major, and I thought, perfect, let me try that out, see how it is. And I really liked the classes. I liked all the information, what it was teaching me, and I went even further into minoring into business management to get a little more information in the business aspect that way. So my advice for a lot of students who are deciding on changing majors is to really think about it. I know it's a very big decision and it can be scary because you have a plan and it's all of a sudden changing. It's very scary.
Mhm.
But as long as you think about it, you think of sort of a plan and you really look internally of why you want to change, then all I can say is that it will be okay in the end. Everything will fall into place where they need to.
Mhm.
And don't be scared to question, is this actually the right major for me?
Mhm. Yeah, I totally agree. I kind of had the same thought process when it came to changing my major, where it was like uh, I was supposed to do mathematics. I got into UCI through mathematics, so I was like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm gonna do mathematics. But then I started taking classes, and I was like, I don't know if I really want to do this as like a career. So in my first year, I took a film class, and I was like, film was fun. Maybe I could switch into film. So at the end of the day, I just chose film because it was something that I enjoyed. And
Yeah,
yeah,
and
there.
that's what's great about college is that it exposes the students to a lot more majors and a lot more subjects that high school really doesn't expose you to. They kind of just
Hmm.
focus on, the regular math, science, history, all of that. But college, you really get to explore any type of major you can think of. They probably have that major for you. So it's a great way for students to really explore what they want to do and their interests. And so that's why if you're ever thinking about changing your major, don't worry. There's other people who have. If you need any advice, just talk to them and it'll all be okay in the end.
Hmm. And I think that's something that like Fusion offers also is like getting to talk to people who are of different majors and like being able to see whether or not like, oh, this person's major is this, I'm interested in that, should I switch? You have like that leeway to like go ask and like get advice from a whole bunch of people in one
Mhm.
place. So yeah. Uh Man, that was that was eye-opening and kind of self-reflective. But anyway, so next question. So you talked about how one of your biggest achievements right now, at the moment, was getting a stable job after 1 year of graduating, which is to me that's amazing. Like
Thank
congratulations.
you.
Uh, so I just want to hear about like what kind of job it is, and like you also said you could see yourself developing professionally. I like you to maybe go more in depth about that.
So right now I am a service representative at New York Life Insurance, and I mainly focus in contracting and licensing, but I am being cross-trained into new business as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's been a really great job. I didn't think I would find a stable job right after graduating, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of trouble. I was applying everywhere, trying to get interviews and all that, and I really wanted to stay in Irvine actually, and
Mm-hmm.
after graduating, but unfortunately I had some other stuff come up where I had to move home,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was kind of a sign that I had to move home because I
Oh,
ended up
okay.
finding a nice stable job. But it's been great. I've been developing professionally there. My manager is super great. She mainly focuses on training her employees and building them up professionally, which is what drew me to the position. So I've been learning a lot about communicating with others, a lot about the insurance industry because going in I knew nothing about that. And I've just been learning other professional skills that I think would benefit me in the future.
I guess adding on to that, maybe just shifting questions a little bit. Do you think Fusion in any way has helped you, like from graduating up into this point? Like, are there any skills that you developed within Fusion that are like essential to you landing that stable job at where you're at right now?
I think from Fusion, I did learn mainly from being on board is how to work with others. Since
Mm-hmm.
being on board, you're working with 9, 10 other individuals, and you need to figure out their strengths, their weaknesses, and how we can all band together to get the job done. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I try to bring into my team right now that I work in, just to make sure we can handle all the tasks that are given to us by our supervisor. And if anyone needs help, we're able to allocate all the work evenly to make sure that no one's too overworked.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do think that my interviewing skills have kind of improved from Fusion because when you do executive board,
Mm-hmm.
you have to do the platform, you have to talk in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that really helped me because it kind of gained my confidence in talking to managers when I interview. And
Mm-hmm.
I learned how to speak not too fast. I do want to admit sometimes I do talk a little fast, but I've learned to slow down and try to really talk professionally and to the point.
I see. I have that problem also of speaking too
All
fast,
you have to do
especially
is
when it's
breathe.
nervous.
Just take a
Yeah,
breath and you'll be fine.
I mean it's essential for us, so yeah, just joking aside. But yeah, so and that's really good. If that's not a fusion, if that's not a fusion advertising, I don't know what is. But join
Yeah,
board.
join Fusion. It's a great club.
Yeah, join fusion first and then join board after.
Yes,
That's the
board's a great experience. Everyone join. If you even have the slightest inkling of, what's the word? The slightest inkling of joining board, do it. Just do
yes,
it.
100% worth it. Even right now, I haven't even started, but it's a great experience just working with other people. All right. Shifting subjects just a little bit. I think one of the things I'm having problems with at the moment is productivity in general, especially with like how everything is right now with like COVID and like having to stay at home and stuff. So I was just wondering how you're dealing with like productivity and if there's anything that you're doing right now that like has helped you cope with like having to stay inside most of the time and whatnot?
To cope with, COVID happening and all that, I try not to focus my life around work, since
Hmm.
during the week, 8:30 to 5, I'm just working. So I
Hmm.
will always try to find something to do after that to kind of relax and not just be, oh, okay, I'm done with work. Now I'm just going to go to sleep and go to work again. It just feels
Hmm.
very repetitive. So what I've been doing is I've actually started working out this quarantine.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to get those gains, but to kind of keep me going with the working out, I have a group chat with my friends and we kind of keep each other accountable, like, hey, did you work
Oh.
out? Or I'm working out today. So it gives me motivation, like, oh, my friends are working out. I should work out too. Why should I be the only one who's slacking?
Hmm.
Um, so I've been doing that. And then since I have moved back home with my family, I always try to find time to hang out with them, because during the week I'm working, my brother's online school, my sister's online school, and my parents are working. So we never really get to interact with each other. So once we do have downtime, we either watch movies together or we play this game I got recently. It's called Cube. I don't know if you know about it. It's like the tile game. It's really old.
Wait.
It's like
It's
tiles with numbers on it and they're colored. It's like a game,
huh.
Cube.
Huh. No, I haven't heard of that.
It's really fun. You should play it. My friend Gabe, he introduced it to me pretty
Hmm.
recently and I got addicted to it. So now we all play. But yeah, I've just been trying to find stuff to keep me occupied, even if it's as simple as binging Netflix or new anime shows. Like just trying to find ways to self-care and not think about work or the pandemic or all of that.
I feel that. I think the biggest thing is just like being stuck at the computer when it's like when
Yeah.
you're doing work or like, relaxing. So it's like it kind of just blends together so it feels kind of like it's not separate. I guess that's like the biggest thing. But
Mm-hmm.
I really like the idea of having like a group of friends and like keeping each other accountable, because like I think
Yeah.
that's something that's like very productive and like it just helps strengthen that friendship between each other where it's like
Yeah,
you
especially
want
since
each other to succeed. Yeah.
Yeah, especially since I'm the one here. A lot of my friends, they're up in Irvine or down in Irvine still.
Hmm.
So it's a way for us to keep in contact. And then another thing I also do is once I'm done with work, I try to stay out of my room as long as possible until I have to go to bed. Because just staying in here for
Uh,
so long, it just feels like I'm trapped, which is
mm,
weird because my door is open. But yeah, I just try to get a change of scenery every so often, even if walking around my neighborhood for like 10 minutes.
I should get into walking. I feel like that's like something I've heard from like a lot of people. It's just like, yeah, I just go out and walk places. I'm like, oh,
It's
I can't
very
do that.
relaxing.
I can see that. I don't know. It's just a mask thing, but
Hmm.
But besides that, man, that's like okay, cool. So another question. What's your biggest advice from transitioning from, the school system of like, taking classes, signing up for classes and all that to like having to find a job and going into the workforce? Because I feel like that's like a drastic change since for basically minimum 21 years you're just doing school, which is crazy
Yeah.
thinking about it, but yeah.
My advice would be once you're in the workforce, you got that job, you're so excited, just be a sponge, because so many people are going to come to you and want to train you. They want to give you all this information because they do know that you're new. And then my advice is just always soak it in. Make sure that you take your notes and you apply it to whatever you're working on, because not only will that help you develop professionally internally, but if your managers see that you're taking what they're teaching and applying it or trying to do it to better other processes, then that'll help you professionally as well to move forward, and like
Hmm.
get those promotions. And another thing I would like to say is make sure you are good with time, because you can't be late for work, you can't leave early for work, you can't, with school, you can maybe miss a class. You said, oh,
Hmm.
it's fine, I'm going to catch up, it's totally fine. But if you miss a day for work, I didn't know how busy I would be. After I take vacations or anything, just for one day, I'm already swamped with so much work. So just make sure you're good on time when you have to go to work, and
Hmm.
be very communicative with your managers if you ever have to miss work, because you don't want them not knowing why you're not there. That's a really bad, that's a red flag. And just also learn, I know that once you get your first job, a lot of people might want to just focus on that, but just be sure you have that good work-life balance. You know, you don't want to be burnt out after your first year of having a job. You want to still be able to enjoy your free time, with, you know, with the money you're making and all the friends you're most likely going to be having from that job.
Yeah, this is something that is a big question for me, considering that after this year, hopefully, I will be graduating. So it's something.
Not hopefully, you will
Uh,
be.
y- you're
I
right,
believe in you.
positivity. But yeah, it's just something that's like in the back of my mind now, where it's like it was like in high school when it's like you're signing up for like colleges and you're like, oh snap, I'm going to college.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the last, it's always the last years of like going to different schools and all that. So
Mm-hmm.
that would definitely, I will definitely keep that in mind for my case. So thank you for the advice.
No
Uh,
problem.
all right, so we're here, we're moving into probably the final question. So with you having your stable job and all that, and also congratulations on paying off one of your loan. That's
Thank
crazy.
you.
I am terrified about that. But anyway,
It's doable. If I can do it, you can do it.
that's true. I hope I can. But no, I will do it. It's better. So do you have any like plans, like it doesn't have to be like work related, but it could be like personal also, just like any personal goals that like you're moving towards right now? Like for me, one of my goals, like overarching goals, is ending up going to Japan, whether it's like through school or just like
Ooh,
visiting. So
that sounds fun.
yeah, you have anything of the like?
My goals would mainly be, well, just professionally keep developing, keep learning as much as I can in this job. And personally, like you said, I would like to travel once all of this pandemic is over and we have vaccines. I've actually been putting some of the money from my paychecks into a separate savings account just for travel.
Oh,
So once those vaccinations hit and we're all good to go, I am on the first plane out. I don't even care where, but I'm gonna be somewhere. I have the money. I'm gonna use it.
hopefully not in the U.S.
Oh,
Somewhere,
I do
somewhere
want to.
farther away.
Yeah, I do want to go to Japan, like you said, or Australia, or even Canada. I just want to go outside of the country because I've never been.
Oh my God, you haven't?
No, even the Philippines, if possible. I've never been to the
Oh
Philippines.
my God. Okay. Well, dang. I would. Okay, man. It's kind of surprising finding people that haven't traveled. Yeah, traveling is. Yeah, the plane ride is okay. It's getting there that's like the fun part, but
Yeah, and
yeah.
but other than that, I really want to continue paying off my loans. I'm actually very close to paying off another one, so hopefully by the end of the year that'll be all gone. I'm doing really well, so hopefully I can stick to that plan. And I also want to be financially stable enough to finally live on my own again.
Oh, okay.
um, because being so used, I moved to Irvine for college, and I was so used to being in an apartment with some roommates or just by myself. And I want to be able to get to that state again. Because it's not like I don't like living with my family members. It's just that I would feel more accomplished and like set with my life if I'm able to live on my own, have my own apartment, all of that. And then my final, it's a really big goal. I don't know if I'm going to accomplish it anytime soon, but I have been talking with my aunt and she said it's very possible for me to own my own house. So
Ooh,
I don't know how that works. I would like to own my own house, and do some financial stuff there so I can earn some money from it. But that's like my big goal. I just
that,
want to own a house or like a condo or something where I can rent out to people and, make some side money that way.
okay. The hustle. I
You're
respect.
trying.
Dang. Man, that's a real. Wow, okay. That's great. I just I just want to graduate. That's
Don't
like,
worry, you will. Just focus on graduating. After that, the world is yours.
yeah, we shall see starting next year. When it's closer and I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm graduating." But anyway, so looks like that's all the time we have for today. thank you for tuning in to our podcast. Once again, thank you, Sydney, for taking the time out of your day to be part of this project.
Thank
Uh,
you for having me, Kevin.
No problem. What a great first guest. As for you
Thank
all,
you.
hope you will continue to watch this project grow, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, for sure,
Okay. So I know I told some people I was going to be on this podcast, and they're like, "Oh, are you going to say your thing?" And I'm going to say my thing now since I have the chance.
for sure.
So I just want to say, when they're back on Ring Road, you better get Fusion's Bacon Wrap Hot Dogs, best deal on campus, one for $2, tuna water for $3. I hope that's still the same prices, but best hot dogs out there, freshly made. You can smell them from miles away. So whenever you see Fusion's Bacon Wrap Hot Dogs, y'all better buy them.
See,
That's
this
it.
is this is the best advertising for Fusion that we have ever created. So I would say they're really good and free
They're
condom.
so good. You can't just have one, you have to get two.
It's the best deal on campus, especially since the 4 for 4 is now 4 for 5. Like,
Oh, I heard about that.
yeah, so
I
it's
do
like
that
it's
to
not worth it.
y'all.
It's not worth it anymore. See? So it might have been some competition, but we basically erased it. So so yeah. Uh all right. So thank you so much for participating and being the first person to do this
No
with
problem.
yeah. Uh yeah, I guess that's basically it.